Hello! This is Ginger's Greetings here on YouTube and on Instagram, and today we are going to be talking about my experience with a ship that has skyrocketed in popularity and confused the masses, Bowuigi. I wanted to talk about this because I made a short that got an unexpected amount of attention, almost 16,000 views as of now. Wow, I've never felt more visible. A lot of the commenters were confused about the ship, where it came from, etc., so I wanted to make something I could direct them to. I also noticed that I gained a good couple followers, so if you're here from that, welcome to the channel! I appreciate your existence. There's already at least one other YouTuber who's done this topic. Coley Does Things has 2 Bowuigi videos, and her second is what inspired me to actually finish this comic, which until then was sitting gathering dust in my files. Thank you, Coley, you are a godsend. I don't want to just regurgitate what somebody else has already said, so a lot of this will be my personal opinions on why the ship is so popular and what I personally like about it. I also might have just wanted an excuse to draw some more fan art. Maybe, just maybe. Let's go! First off, what the hell is Bowuigi? Bowuigi is the ship name for the pairing between Luigi and Bowser from the Mario franchise. It's been quietly lurking in fandom space for a while now, but its current claim to fame comes from the Mario movie trailer that came out in late 2022. In terms of appeal, I think the easiest way to explain it is by comparing it to the Peach Bowser ship. Instead of adhering to the hero saves the princess from the big bad and gets the girl, it spins it on its head by making the princess end up with the villain and leaving the hero lost, confused, and single. It's refreshing for people who are tired of seeing the same narratives over and over, and it adds intrigue through the questions that arise. How did he go from being her kidnapper to her lover? How does Mario feel about this situation, and does he know? What political implications will this have on both of their kingdoms? Bowuigi just takes this one step further. Imagine, Mario's been so focused on keeping his princess out of his arch-nemesis' clutches that he doesn't even notice his own brother's developing feelings for the guy. The base format of dude dating his brother's enemy is simple, it's eye-catching, and it's just a little bit spicy. Whether you like the angst that comes from them dating in secret, or the drama of a big reveal, or maybe you just want to see a dude, his boyfriend, and his boyfriend's arch-nemesis, who also happens to be the first dude's brother, sitting at a table for brunch. The setup is undeniably interesting regardless. I think another reason why people find it so appealing is because you've taken a beloved franchise where there is little to no representation of the LGBT, Vivian from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, my beloved, and projected a little piece of yourself onto it. Just like everybody else out there, we all want to see ourselves represented in the media we hold dear. And while Bowser times Luigi might seem jarring and out of nowhere to the onlooker, when you put it in context, it makes a lot of sense. Plus, the anxious younger brother, overshadowed by his older brother's spotlight, is a prime character for nerds who are into evil, beefy, anthropomorphic dudes to project onto. And that one's not my cup of tea, but based on art I've seen, I can't deny that's a motivating factor, probably. I totally get it if you're confused. I showed this to my own mother before I posted it, and she just went, Bowser's in love with Peach. We know Bowser's in love with Peach. We know Luigi has Daisy. Shipping oftentimes is not about what is, but what could be. Okay, now it's time to talk about myself. First off, I want to give a disclaimer that I really tried to look up the pronunciation of this name, and I found contradictory pronunciations, so I'm going to do my best here. I'm really sorry if I butcher their name. But my personal introduction to Bowuigi was the Bowuigi Sign by Ariel Slamet-Rios, published in January of 2020. It was advertised in the story of a comic artist that I really looked up to, and I was immediately intrigued by the concept. I bought the digital Zine, and if you like Bowuigi, or if you want to see some quality content to get the hype, I encourage you to do so as well. It was definitely worth every penny. I wasn't head over heels for this ship by any means. I grew up playing the Mario games, I've drawn fan art, I'll even admit to having looked up a fanfic or two out of curiosity. But I wouldn't say I was ever actively part of its fandom. It did, however, hold enough of a place in my brain that in some date at some time, I posted my own Bowuigi fan art to Instagram, which I generally expected to never look back on. What a surprise that when the Mario movie trailer launched, I would start getting a slew of people liking that very same post. I jumped straight on that hype train and my brain was brimming with ideas. Personally, I like the concept that Bowser and Luigi are dating in secret, and that while Bowser was genuinely kidnapping Princess Peach at first, now the kidnappings are just staged hijinks to give her an excuse to take a vacation away from Toadsworth. Mario would mostly be kept out of the loop because it's been so long and nobody knows how to break the subject. Also, considering every time they want to take a vacation, Mario has to cancel all of his plumbing bookings to take a multi-week venture to save her, he'd be rightfully mad. See the formula? It's queer, there's intrigue, drama, and plenty of room to get creative. The comic I drew was only a third of what I sketched out on paper. I didn't want to put a lot of energy into something that only 10 people were gonna see on my Instagram. And because I was using it in part for practicing backgrounds and coloring, I knew it was gonna be time-consuming. So I took the first bit, drew the backgrounds, put it away for a while, and finished the character drawings a couple months later. It was a lot of work for what it is, but I'm really glad I finished it. On top of adding my own voice to this fun and funky pairing, a lot of people got enjoyment out of it. Even if some of that enjoyment came from a fair amount of people hate commenting. Speaking of, while I don't want to bring unnecessary attention to people who disliked it, people are allowed to have their own opinions, and that's valid. 2 of these comments are really funny together, so I just thought I'd share. On the one hand, we have, no, you ruined everything about Mario, versus, the internet ruined Mario. So, what'll it be? Have I ruined an entire franchise by drawing a dorky comic where a lanky grin man and an overgrown turtle kiss? Or is the internet at large responsible for starting the Mario rapture? Let these 2 opinions fight to the death as enemies, and maybe, just maybe, they'll become something more. And that is everything I have for you today. I know it wasn't necessarily comprehensive, but again, this is more my take on the Bowuigi phenomenon, and a way for me to explain why I made the comic. Feel free to comment your thoughts down below if you have any points to add, why you love or hate this ship, and or what content you want to see from me in the future. Also, consider watching the original short. It's like maybe 30 seconds long. This has been Kate, otherwise known as Ginger Screenings, here on YouTube and on Instagram, and I hope that you find the time this week to cozy up with your favorite Mario game. Bye-bye!